Now it's time to hear from a key voice at our presenting partner. Please welcome Dhruv Dhawan, Vice President of Revenue India at the Trade Desk, a leader who has played a pivotal role in redefining digital advertising in India, to deliver the keynote address on the topic Unlocking Growth, the Omnichannel Opportunity on the Open Internet. Please join us on stage.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Yeah, loud and clear? Okay. I got the mic. Clicker. Thank you. Right. A very good afternoon to all of you, and welcome to the event. And thank you for agency reporter and team to put this up. What I'm going to cover in the next 20-25 minutes is really about how the landscape's moving, what's really happening with fragmentation, what's really happening with attention of consumers, what's really happening with the consumer habits, and finally, how does the Trade Desk kind of come together and help today the ecosystem of agency, advertisers, and publishers today. So just before I dive in and talk about our latest report and some findings from there on the omnichannel narrative, Trade Desk globally is the largest independent DSP, demand-side platform. And we truly believe in providing our agencies and advertisers with an objectivity and transparent-driven platform, actually tech platform, that allows you to fundamentally get the best out of your advertising spends. We're today living in this attention economy, lack or too much attention, however you want to look at it. We did some work. This is actually data from Kantar and IMAI, where we know that today the internet population, which was maybe just a decade back, about 100 million, is going to be almost a billion as we look into the next couple of years. And what's really happening is, from where there were just maybe a desktop back in the day, today there are just so many channels, including these two screens that are where you can see our ads play, are potentially connected as well. And what that really means is, with the consumers and the fact that there are just so many channels, there are also these myriad media experiences that we all are actually going through on every single day as consumers and brands as well in midst of all of this. So as consumers, we actually are seeing almost on average 1,000 ads per day. And this is some research we did. Actually, this is a research that Steffi, it's a global research done last year around August. What this really means is, if there are 1,000 ads for the consumer, what's happening with the brands? And what that really comes to the fact that almost 70% of today's consumers are really tired of seeing the same ad again and again. I can take my own example of one of the platforms that I keep going to, and I do many platforms, whether it's TV, whether it's audio, whether it's my own mobile. And while scrolling, I found the same person coming and talking to me. And now the influencers are becoming the advertisers, or let's say the brands in some ways. And just watching the same ad is absolutely irritating. But that's okay if I remember who that ad is. But unfortunately, that's not happening either. So the stat is that only 6.8% are aware that they've seen this ad from a specific brand. So while I was getting stalked by one particular ad, what also is happening, I'm seeing many different new age brands coming and talking to me, but I'm not remembering them, unless of course I purchase them and they are in my house, right? But that's happens, but it's far and few. And why is that really happening? Because today we're spending time across the whole spectrum of platforms. So this is a research that is done by Global Web Index, and these are India-specific numbers. So 75% of digital time today is spent on the open internet, so about 23% or roughly 26% on social media. But then you cut across music, where you could start your day with audio, song. I do that all the time while heading to the gym. Or let's say you are, of course, watching connected TV, a lot of gaming, and again, journalism is at a high time as well, high point as well. So all this adds to the way today a consumer is spending their time in a particular day. And what does that really mean? In all of this, how does your ad, or how do your ads actually stand out and break through and make an impact? And we'll talk more about that. The answer really is not to just go and advertise on those two screens or your mobile, but actually do a holistic omni-channel planning. Back in the day, you would pick a particular hoarding, and I took this example even in the Delhi event. When I started my journey at Airtel, my first project was to measure the effectiveness of an outdoor hoarding, right? And this is Bangalore back in the day. Brigade Road has this one hoarding at the end of the road. I still remember the cost of that hoarding was 3.5 lakhs a month. That time was a lot of money. And I'm old, not that old, yeah, just saying. But even then, you would just buy that, maybe buy 5 hoardings, you'd be like, okay, this is a marketing plan, right? And maybe do some bit of print. Today, the choices are immense. We are living in a multi-channel world, but we are not planning for omni-channel. And I'll talk a bit more about that, what I mean when we're planning for omni-channel. Multi-channel is when I'm buying like I used to buy back in the day as a marketer at Airtel, but now I want to get to an audience like the gentleman sitting in the blue jacket here multiple times in the day. Sorry, sir, picking on you just sitting in the front. It's not a stand-up, like typically that happens in stand-ups. I'm not doing that. But just on an audience standpoint, we want to get to you, not just on one platform repeatedly, but across, and also manage how much you see of an ad. Because you have different moments, and we also want the brand to have a maximum impact. So it's an audience-first approach in the omni-channel world, and that's what we are here to solve for. I spoke about this, so I'm going to skip this slide. And really the idea here is, if your ad comes up across multiple channels, the study shows, then this is the study we did with PA Consulting, specifically in India, that 70% of the consumers are likely to remember the brand if it shows across multiple channels. And not just that, 66% actually feel more positive about the brand when they see it not just in the same platform or channel, but across multiple channels. And this really also, this is for the consumer standpoint. Now, if you look at what's happening to the brands are also seeing almost 1.5 times more persuasive than disconnected campaigns. What that really means is that I am able to convince the customer to come down from the upper funnel to the mid funnel at least, where they engage more with my brand. And that leads to also less fatiguing in terms of the campaigns that you run if you run through the omni-channel kind of process. This is work in India. We worked with one of the leading alcohol brands, and we also partnered with a third-party data provider called LifeSites. What they do is they really do the online to offline measurement. And this was for a campaign which we were measuring across 6,000 stores, where we were measuring footfalls of the campaigns we were running. And interestingly, the user, when was exposed to one channel versus 3, we saw that the conversions and the time to conversion. So one of the things you'll hear in the next few cases, and even when I talk about is there is something called faster time to conversion, which really means that if I saw an ad today, and then I convert maybe 10 days ahead. I know we have multiple brands, but let's say I saw a Colgate total ad. Sorry, Anika, I just have to do that. And I don't buy it. I buy it a month later, right? She's not going to be very happy. She's like, I want it today. You must go and buy it like off the shelf for me now. So if I would see potentially an ad which is on my phone, on my TV, on the screen here, chances of me, and this case study really proves that, is that 50% is, I'm basically cutting that short time by almost half, right? And what this also led to was almost 2 million unique footfalls. So again, really talking about if you work with a omni-channel approach, the chances of you gaining more conversion rates is far higher. And the way to look at this is, this was work that we did in Australia with IKEA. Everyone knows IKEA. It's a home decor, home furnishing brand. And again, this was an omni-channel campaign that cut across audio, display, broadcast video, digital out of home. And again, almost 10% decrease in average time. So here the average time didn't decrease that much, but still there was a decrease. But the other interesting part on this, and you'll hear this across, is when they added audio as a channel, they almost saw a 3x rate of conversion, which is a very, very strong proof point, and that was audio and social together. What all of this really means is, if we are unlocking the channel, omni-channel as an approach, it's really, from a consumer standpoint, getting to their mindsets, right? Multiple, like people are in various times of day, in various mindsets and emotions and moments. And again, how are we connecting them all with the various media that they have access to? So omnichannel kind of cuts through all these three M's. And again, this is something that a part of our research throughout recently. And with that really to the point that no single channel wins, but when channels come together, we believe that they're additive, actually in some cases even exponential in terms of the impact they drive. And what are these channels? Let me get a bit more detail into it. Connected TV, as you all know, I'm sure all of you today are using connected TV. How many are not on connected TV or just on cable in the room? Okay, good. It's a good audience. A few years back, if I'd done this, I'd probably still have a few hands, but I'm glad. This is also programmatic, so ad tech probably has younger crowds. Maybe I'm just preaching to older people earlier. But the point here is a lot of connected TV, and this is again India-specific research, are also subscribers. So almost, and this in India actually, 72% of consumers are on ad-supported streaming services, right? Which is very different than 42% globally as the number. And when you do come on connected TV on OTT, there is a 55% likelihood of ad viewing as premium content, especially in the age bracket of 18 to 34-year-olds. And again, the whole, whether it's discoverability, whether it's trust and impressions, there's a lot of high recall when you invest in connected TV. But that's just the mind metrics and the brand measures. But here we've also looked at something called cost per household and cost per acquisition. And when connected TV is added, we see the impact on that additional channel leads to 11x more brand search outcomes, so many more, 6.5x more visits, and again, so much more engagement on commerce as well. The other channel is, of course, audio. And audio is like this magic wand which you add, and it suddenly sees a lot of value that it drives. And we've seen that across campaigns across the globe. Whether you are on podcasts, whether you are streaming music, there is a general higher level of recall and brand discoverability that audio adds. The other one, like I said, these two screens, 7 in 10 people at least spot once in a week. And these screens are only getting smarter. The data around them is only getting more rich as we are working with a bunch of partners in the space as well. And this again, whether it's influencing your brand decisions or campaigns, this adds to another layer of success for your campaigns if done through the omnichannel route. And finally, whether it's online video or display, we've also seen when this is a large part of the time spent, whether it's browsing websites or watching content, and leads to higher purchase intent and attention. So the idea really here is to put together these 4 channels and give you a view that all these channels have a role to play. And that role typically, and sorry, just to finally talk about gaming, again, I think 2 points here. One, ad-funded gaming is a big puller and drives a lot of positive connections for brands. And again, there is also undivided attention that comes in when you're deep in a game. So all this leads to great moments for brands to partner on gaming. And this and all of this together leads to very positive performance for brands. So whether it's the purchase intent going up or cost coming down or just general return on investments being higher, there is a significant shift that you see when you add multiple channels. In this case, we are seeing on cost per acquisition going down by half when you actually add 5 channels in total in the mix. But it's not really about adding channels, right? You need to reach the audience. You need to show them the ad in the most relevant frequency. You don't want to overdo it because that would again lead to fatigue. At the same time, how do you get them across quality media, premium content? And finally, is there a way to measure all of this? And we can help today in all these 4 buckets as Trade Desk. We do that through cross-device audiences. I'll talk about all these 4 in a minute. We have our world-class programmatic platform, Koa, which help with the AI optimization and campaign setup. Again, there are multiple quality control setups with premium and inventory access, and finally, reporting and measurement is a key part of how we drive brand success. So you can reach not just your campaigns through a spray and pray, but look at how do you layer first-party data, third-party data, and we can help with bringing all of this together and then activate the campaigns across the omnichannel world. In terms of premium inventory access, if you think about it, we can connect through all these devices and audience, and keeping the audience at the center, show the same ad to someone on the mobile in the morning, or audio in the morning, and TV in the end, and that really builds towards much richer and a less intrusive experience for the consumer. And that's where our whole Identity Alliance product comes in, which really helps build the frequency control with high levels of accuracy. This is our landscape today. Today we work with, I think last count was about 5,000 publishers in the country, but even actually a lot of our advertisers also work with publishers that are global. And these cut across, whether it's connected TV right up to gaming. That's the whole bunch of just a quick logos check that I wanted to share with you that we work with. But all of these together, what we really bring together is great understanding of performance, and that conversion from whether it's a 3-channel conversion and the optimization path to it. So to give you an example, if I have seen an ad, or let's say your brand wants to show me an ad and I've just seen it on connected TV and mobile, our systems will actually try and find me on an audio platform to show me the third ad, right? So the system actually builds that through with the intelligence to make sure that they find me first on the third platform rather than showing me different ads, right? So that's again a part of the optimization that our tool does very, very well, and our product does very well. And finally, just to bring it all together with measurement, we can show ads across these publishers, across these channels. We can also show only certain frequency-led you can cap these on certain exposures and frequency. And finally, the path to conversion with the channel effectiveness towards the bottom funnel can also be measured for our platform. So all this comes together when you invest with the Trade Desk. So breaking the silos down and really building on this omni-channel opportunity on the open internet is what we want to do more. And we are already on that journey with a lot of the large advertisers and agency partners. So our teams are here in case you want to know more. We're happy to help with deeper discussions around this topic. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a great evening, and I'm around, the team is around. Happy to chat more about any of these topics. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dhruv. I would request you to please remain on stage, and I would like to request Mayank Sharma from Digitool to please present the token of appreciation.
Hey, I didn't know that when I was calling you out, but thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want a photo for that. Thank you.
Thanks to both of you.